Hello and welcome everybody, and thank you guys for joining me again. My name's Wilkie, and yes, we're still here in BDO. I'm still playing by Musa right now, and I'm just really more or less semi-relaxed, trotting along, understanding or trying to understand more of the systems. I think saying that I understand all of the BDO right now is definitely an exaggeration. There's so much stuff really that I haven't seen, haven't learned, haven't heard yet. Because I've played this game a fair bit amount, but back in the days we didn't have a whole lot of all these things. So first, apologize. I've never been here. I've never like there's a couple places in Valencia that I've never been to. So I have no idea if this, first of all, if this is the rotation, if this is a good rotation. You may ask yourself, why am I here? First of all, I'm here for knowledge because I've never been here. Second of all, this is also one of the places where there is the seasonal Blackstone quest. But I didn't realize that this is actually a level cap thing. And I actually need to be level 60 to do this. But I'm almost level 60, so I'm just going to be grinding here anyway. Like I said, I need the knowledge, and once I'm level 60, I'm going to be doing that. And then I'm probably not going to be grinding much more here. At least for the time being, unless there's, any valuable drop or something that I'm not aware of. Anyways, in regards to roadmap, content, and stuff like that, I think I have a primary goal for myself. And that is, or that are the 2 infinite potions that I'm probably going to try and get my hands on. There's a couple things in that regard, and I have to, I guess, loop back a little bit, especially for the people that played with me in the past or have seen videos in the past. Back in the days, I was very guilty of not grinding the most optimal spot. And what I mean is, there was always like the top end spot, like the S+ tier spot that everybody wanted to grind. And usually that was like 1 or 2 back in the days. We talked about like 15 to 20 million silver in our grind. That was the numbers that we worked with. So what you're hearing now is obviously, drastically different, but it still applies the same. There were some spots that were just like 1 or 2 mil more, plus maybe had coveted drops. Like back in the days, you had well, Crescent Ring was pretty much, or Tongue Rats, I think at some point existed already, but Crescent Ring was one, if not the most important accessory drop that was relatively good in terms of farmability because of Crescent Shrine, right? Sure, Ogre Ring and stuff like existed, but hunting ogres was a pain in the ass, and probably still is, but that wasn't really, like, you didn't really farm anything else. You were just chasing ogres and that's it. Crescent, you grinded skill XP, you grinded character XP, just raw silver and stuff like that. And yeah, that was it. And I was guilty of that because I grinded pirates a lot. I got 2 characters to level 61 on Pirate Island back in the days, and back in the days XP at Pirate Island was not good past level 57, 58ish. That was definitely not a good XP spot, but it was a good silver spot. And most importantly for me, it was not overrun. And typically what I did, I got buffs, I planned ahead, did stuff in IRL so that I could grind like 2, 3, 4 hours in one session. And that meant that I typically did not want to have a whole lot of interruptions while doing so. And there's 2, well, relatively simple reasons or ways to achieve this. One is simple but not very easy, and that is, just be so overpowered in terms of gear and over leveled that you just completely annihilate everybody that steps foot into your spot. Back in the days, it wasn't very easy to do this. Also, it came with a lot of risks, especially on a place like Pirate Island where you didn't really have a town or anything to retreat to very quickly. So being a red named Andy was doable, but definitely, or most likely, I guess, not recommended. For a lot of people, at least. Secondly, it was very remote, so it just wasn't very... It wasn't an option for a lot of people, because you had to get there by boat. And back in the days, our boats weren't really fast. We didn't have a whole lot of big boats at all, and even the ones we had, just, like, you could easily take, like, 15 to 20 minutes sailing just to get there. And then with all the management and inventory and stuff like that, like going from Kuwait Island to like Valley or something, depending on where you are, what your gear load and everything was, could easily take 30 minutes or more. So if, you know, in case there's like a small skirmish or some guildies needed help, it wasn't really that you were just gonna go there, because by the time you arrived, maybe all the skirmishes already, you know, got resolved, or people just got bored, people left. At least back in the days. More often than not, PvP didn't last very long. Sometimes, you know, very extensive guild wars arose, but for the most part, if somebody was contesting, like a grind sport or something, you know, it was just like usually a couple minutes of going on, flagging who gets more people there quickly, then either push them out of the spot or have some good PvP fun, and then, you know, go back to grinding. Long story short, I just enjoyed grinding pirates a lot. I think the rotations were super fun, probably still are, I don't know. Place was really good, place was good silver. Also, I was personally trying to get red corral earrings, because accuracy was definitely an issue back in the days for a lot of classes. So red corral earrings were pretty much my target accessory that I farmed. And yeah, that was just pretty much my reasoning. The reason I actually dabble on for so long is that I learned that alongside the actual potion piece spots, there is something called that is a Tannis element, which acts as a universal pity piece for those potions. So you, and I think this is always a very good option. First of all, you don't have to grind for the actual potion pieces anymore, because you're getting pity pieces, so even if RNG is not on your side, eventually you're gonna be getting your potions, which is really good. I really like that approach that, you know, if you just bash your head against the wall for long enough, you're gonna be getting it. There's also weeklies that they, I think, improved, because you can now do all of them, apparently. Seemingly back in the days you could only do one. So this is also a major improvement, especially for people that just don't like grinding or don't want to grind that long. You can just do the weeklies, and obviously it'll take you like it's 5 per weekly, and you need 100 of those pieces. You know, that's a very quick mathing not out. It's a very quick 20 weeks. So, you know, if you just do that and do nothing else, presumably you're not getting any of the other drops. That's going to be a 20-week journey. But the time investment in terms of actual game time is fairly low. So that is really good. But yeah, like I said, these Tannis elements drop in a variety of locations, so they are pretty much just giving you options to try and achieve certain things in places that you may prefer better. Because I tried all but one of the potion piece spots, and Forest Renauer's area was by far the worst thing. I didn't do the Gathering one, so I don't know how annoying or how, you know, tedious it'll be. But the Renauer's one was not really great. I didn't enjoy it, let's just say that. And it might be a skill issue. I, like I said, do not know. I'm actually leaving the mine. I should turn around the rotation. But yeah, this goes to show that I'm doing this in a very relaxed manner. I'm not currently trying to get the most silver per hour. I'm just having fun, trying to get a feel for the game again, see what's worthwhile, see what I enjoy doing. I enjoy this form of grind, believe it or not. I just enjoy this, and I don't personally think that this is grind what I'm currently doing. Still leveling, I'm still, you know, completing quests and stuff like that. So for me, this doesn't feel like the classic grind for 1 extra AP or something. And for the time being, I got a quest. I have no idea. Bonus. What am I getting here? Oh, this is the XP thing. Okay, good. Long story short, this is my personal goal for probably the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on how much time I actually have playing. I will be trying to get the infinite potion pieces. I don't know in what way, shape, or form I will do this, but I'll definitely be trying to learn more about the Tannis element spots. Maybe there's a spot that I prefer grinding over Renauer's. There's a couple of those spots on the list that I've never played before, so I'm definitely going to go there and get the knowledge, you know, both the knowledge in-game for the energy, but also just to have it played. have been there, have visited it. And yeah, I'll see where things are going back then. Anyways, before I trigger anybody by absolutely not grinding this spot efficiently, I thank you all for being here. If you have any questions, or you know, any tips or tricks, for example, as well, like I'm not one to be resilient in terms of help or guidance, then feel free to put that down in the comment section below, or you know, poke me on any social media, Discord, whatever it is that you want to use, or that is your preferred way of communicating. Last but not least, I thank all for being here. I hope you had a great Easter celebrations. For those of you who do celebrate it, we had a fun family time, so good on me for that, I guess. And yeah, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining me into another Black Desert video. And I hope you still enjoyed it somewhat. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great one, and see ya.